What is going on? Your camera is not messing up on your eyes today. You are listening to Tags Live, Talk About Gay Sex, the live version. This is episode 291. I'm your host, Steve V. And alongside, in the same room, Kodi Maurice Doggette.
Oh
what the heck?
Oh, hi, darling. Hello, darling. It's so good to be. Oh my gosh, it's so good to be in the same room with you.
Well, thank you.
Crazy.
This is our 1 year anniversary special since we started Tags Live 1 year ago. I can't believe it. Can you believe it?
I can actually. I
Yes.
cannot believe that it's been 1 year and that we've been doing this together for so wonderfully and just being there in each other's lives for 1 whole year. And for all our listeners as well.
Absolutely. And to induct things off, just to shout out, Mr. Planet Geek says it's just so lovely to hear such honest conversation about gay life and sex. Thank you,
wow.
Mr. Planet Geek.
Thank you.
And 1 year ago, we started, it was actually August 24th. It was a Wednesday. August 24th, 2020, in the heart of the pandemic, we started Tags Live. And it's really interesting because we started it. I started this other show called Sex with Stevie.
Yeah.
Which was me in my living room here. And I took callers in, and Kodi would call in at a portion of the show, right?
Oh, yeah. And it was so much fun. We would always have a great time there. And we would just kiki for however long. I would be on for 10 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
And it was so cute, and I loved it.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, midway through the show, we had a Get Vocal, which is the platform that we use now, that they asked us to do it on their platform. And you had a fun story because you were...
Yeah, because originally when we were planning on Sex with Stevie, it was supposed to be both of us in one room. And the pandemic happened. And of course, we couldn't be in the same room, unfortunately. And that's what evolved into me calling in for the show.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this so much even sweeter. The fact that I'm here with you. I'm kind of tearing up a little bit.
Oh,
I'm so happy. Just so happy to be with you.
It's really cool because when we reflect, so Get Vocal contacted us on their platform, which is video-based, which is really great. And we ended up just phasing out Sex with Stevie because that was a lot of work. And we could get Kodi's mug on the camera.
No makeup, Zorling, no makeup.
And what's really cool? In the 1 year, I was just reflecting on who we had on the show, what we did in the year. And I know our first guest was Sebastian Lacaze.
So amazing.
Episode 1 of Tags Live, and he was talking about his show Chasing Happy. He had a podcast.
It's out there now.
Later, he would come on to, when you were in Mexico, he co-hosted with me.
He took over because I was drunk and being debaucherous in Mexico.
But look at some of the guests that we listed up. Read some of the guests that we've had on over the last year.
Right after Sebastian was DJ Dan DeLeon, and we had Ren and Leo and Corey Harmon, who's here listening to us tonight.
We were talking about adult toys on that episode, which was a lot of fun.
So much. I learned so much, and I got my first dildo, guys, just so you know. Because of Corey Harmon? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Also, Jennifer, who we talked about the difference between lesbian and gay relationships, and that was so much fun.
Really important, too. Yeah. We also had author Stephen Foster, who wrote a book that was really personal about his trials and tribulations, and such a great book. I can vividly remember when he was on. Mm-hmm. And then we had this, now we're talking about the heart of the pandemic. Last summer, we had a guest that put his money and his art to work. Brian Bennett came up with a portable glory hole, which he actually gave me one. I have here.
I thought it would be hanging right here.
It should be as our backdrop, to be honest.
With a dick hanging through it.
Yeah, right. We should have all our special guests throughout the hour, and we could just be like, now whose guest dick is this? That would be fun.
That would be a lot of fun.
That would actually be a fun game.
Or stick the pin the dick on the guest. We could play that.
We could play that, but what if you played it with your friends where you put it up and you just had to guess whose dick out of it was,
I have
and
to
the
be
person,
really drunk for that.
And if you win, you get to suck that dick.
Oh, the stakes just got real, guys.
It just got real. Other guests that we had Finn Deerhart on our show, Kevin Thomas, my former trainer Alejandro Terrazas, and who was our other guest that has a special?
We had Lincoln on, and it was so sweet. He was our third host, and it was so amazing. And we need to have him back on.
And shout out to Lincoln, our other co-host. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday, Lincoln.
Yeah.
So we had some fun times throughout the year. One of them I can vividly remember where we took advantage and went to upstate New York, kind of by what part of New York is that?
Boyceville. It's in upstate. It's near Woodstock.
Thank you. Yes. And we decided we rented this Airstream by the stream.
It was scary, y'all.
It was really scary, but it was a lot of fun. And we thought it would be fun to Airstream our show on that episode. And it was a bad idea because the Wi-Fi was really poor. Yeah. And we're in this old Airstream.
You can imagine.
Yeah. And it didn't work. We had to cancel that episode. But it was still fun.
It was an experience. We didn't get mauled by a bear. So there's that. So
I also was in LA earlier this year and streamed from my friend's house in LA, and that was a lot of fun.
Much fun.
I remember trying each week, because I was there for like a month, different rooms to see which one.
Oh yeah.
And knowing that all I had was one little ring light, and trying to time the day and the house where I wanted to be featured on. It was a whole hot mess.
Well, you looked great every single time. I have to tell you.
Thank you. But we also talked about disability and sex with friends of yours.
With my friend Erica and her husband Jay. That was so good. I love talking to them about that, and we got a lot of people that wrote in about that episode. So
really important. Really more stuff that we kind of want to keep going on. We also introduced our segment called Thirst Trap from.
My favorite, y'all.
Yeah. And that's a little later. It's a segment we started where we talk about straight up gay porn, puts up 13, sometimes 20, sometimes 18 different porn stars, and they have either a video or the hottest pick of the week. And it's our job to vividly, descriptively describe to you all. And I love that segment that we keep going on with.
I mean, I look forward to it every single week. It's my favorite segment that we do. Just let you know, never get rid of it, because
absolutely.
I love the thirst trap, and I post lots of thirst traps. So I'm a thirst trap aficionado. So
you are. Oh, he really gets into it. Seeing how he got into it in this room today, on how he carefully curates the right one, is really amazing. We have to shout out to Will Tantra, who was on our show as well, a more recent guest.
Again, so informative.
Who taught us how to squeeze our basically Kegel exercises. And
I'm doing them now.
I'm doing them now too. Remember, squeeze 9 times, and on the 10th one, hold it really long, and you're guaranteed bigger squirts and bigger shots of cum. And who doesn't want that? This is the show where I learned hello, darling.
I say that because it's something from RuPaul's Drag Race. It always makes me feel really comfortable. So that's why I say that.
I love that. Yeah. We also got Kodi to reveal more maybe than he wanted to reveal ever.
Always.
How do you feel about that?
I enjoy it once because it's really cathartic to get things off your chest.
Yeah.
But in the moment, I'm like, I cannot believe Steve is doing this to me right now. Just like right now. Actually.
Well, the reason I know it was okay is because I once asked you, is it okay if I post this segment the next day? And you said, anything I say on the show, you can repost, because I stand by everything I say.
Exactly.
And that's when I knew I had a great host, is because he stands by what he puts out there. And he's a man of his word. And so cheers to that.
Likewise. Cheers again.
Cheers to that. Absolutely.
We're going to be a little bit intoxicated.
We are.
By the end of this show.
Kodi also dated during our show. and got a boyfriend.
You know what? I'm a little bit upset that I didn't actually get to go on dates on the show. Like,
we could have had that. It was a pandemic, though. The heart of the pandemic.
Well, I guess we were just finding reasons.
We could have did a dating program for you.
We can do that for you now.
We could, but if I recall, I dated somebody during the pandemic that was my neighbor down the hall.
Oh,
if you can believe it, if you all remember that. And I'll never forget, he was watching one of the episodes, and I don't think he liked something I said on the show, and broke up with me after the episode. And I was like, "Are you serious?" Like, and it wasn't even anything that was like true. It was, he just made up something. Wow. We ended up becoming friends, thank goodness, and made it work that way. But it was kind of crazy to date your neighbor and see how that goes. Well, I don't recommend it.
I hope my boyfriend's not watching right now, because
I think he is, isn't he? I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah. We also you got a microphone. We have 3 of them in front of us today.
I know. It's a press conference. I feel like Michelle Obama on this stage right now. I'm like, Eva Perón. We sing all the time.
We always sing. It's
Don't Cry for Me, Argentina.
Yes. We had so many changes and things happen in this year, and it's been an amazing year. And I think, what's your favorite thing, if you had to summarize the year of doing this show, that's been your favorite thing?
I just love being on camera and just being able to express my views and actually get into things with you. The Vulnerable Voices is probably my favorite segment, honestly, because it allows me to be really open and raw with people. And the one where I talked about my experience with my uncle, because that was really, really
Hawaii,
and real in Hawaii. Yeah. And it really was something that was affecting me in the moment. And I know it's probably affecting so many other people. I read something the other day about how being rejected from your family really affects you I read a story about a dad who was giving hugs. I'm tearing up a little bit. He's giving free hugs at Pride, and people just sobbing in his arms, and it's just so heartwarming and touching, and I really related to that.
That's nice. Yeah.
What was your favorite?
You know, Vulnerable Voices would be something that was really, so it was the neighbor that kicked that off. That I love that segment, and really connecting with you, because we had been friends, and I knew you would be such a great, open, honest, enlightening, have a lot to say host. And I think the chemistry that you and I have is something that's related. I've heard from listeners and viewers that that's something that people really connect to.
I agree.
So I would say my connection with you and doing this show has been just amazing. So
I agree 100%.
Thank you. And maybe we'll have some more things in the next hour here. Anybody, I can't read anything yet, but if you have anything to read there.
Silas in a heart. Corey sends hearts. Corey also says, "Hey y'all," and he thanks us for shouting him out. He volunteers his tribute for the Porta Glory.
Oh, I like that. Yes.
So thank you, Corey. You can be the first tribute. All right.
All right. Well, we are going to, someone's already crying over there. All right, good. Well, we are going to get into a show, because we do actually have a show.
I know, right? Not just us reminiscing for an hour and a half.
Absolutely. And I couldn't help but not talk about Sex and the City.
That's funny
to start things off. There's a new cast member you guys may have heard already, what's the name of the show? And Just Like That, the Sex and the City revival, Just Like That, is starting to become like realizing it's your ex-boyfriend's wedding tomorrow. You can't help but view the photos and eavesdrop on all the gossip, but you also don't want it to happen, right? As they write on this. But now, and especially after John Oliver's rant, because everyone's mad at Kim Control not coming back to the show. Well, they just introduced a new character in some Instagram posts.
I know,
and
so exciting.
Nicole Arie Parker. Do you know her?
Yeah, she's Boris Kodjoe's wife.
Ex-wife, I believe.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I think ex-wife. They were together, wife for the last 16 years. Sadly, she was also on Remember the Titans and Chicago PD. She is going to be the 4th of our girls on Sex and the City. She's looking stunning
Gorgeous.
in the pictures.
As always.
But there's a little bit of shade being thrown out because Kim Control, after they posted the 4 of them, Kim Control posted a comment on her Instagram. Next to her dog, she wrote, when your co-star is a real dog, she wrote. And it was a picture next to her real dog. And she did that right after Sarah Jessica Parker posted the new cast member. Yeah. Did you think that was real shade, or?
Of course it was real shade. And it was classic shade, and I'm so proud of her. I think that it wasn't directed at Nicole at all. I think it was directed at Sarah Jessica Parker because they just do not get along in any form or fashion. And I just think that it was her saying, oh, you're a real bitch, and that you got to learn how to deal with her. So,
but the funny thing is, Kim Control also is on record saying that since I'm not going to be in it, whoever they replace me with should be a person of color. So they replaced her with a person of color. Why is she throwing shade on that? She should just let that woman have her moment. And because it could sound like she's throwing shade at this new actress.
I agree with you. I think that she probably should have clarified. Well, I don't think that she even could really clarify and let people know who she was specifically talking about, because then it wouldn't be shade. It would be her talking shit, basically.
Yeah, right.
So I think that this was perfect light shade, and we all know who she was talking about.
And then real quick, how are you feeling about this reboot? Are you here for it? Are you like a lot of people could care less?
I'm a little skeptical, but I can't wait to see it. I'm going to be tuning in, of course.
Me too.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm totally. And I think like all friendships evolve.
Oh, for sure.
And you have new people come in. I mean, it reminds me of our show when I started this 4.5 years ago. It was Jeremy Ross Lopez, myself, and then we brought in a third host at the time. And that person stayed on for a while until he didn't stay on anymore. And then we introduced Lincoln to the
Let me sip my tea.
And just to show you how people are not very good with change when it comes to things like shows and stuff like that. I was just on Fire Island. I was just talking about it, working a pool party. And I was working it. I worked it. You can listen to episode 290 and hear a little more, and our after show this week where I go into more detail.
Nice.
But yeah, and he was the bartender who I knew was asking me, how's the podcast going? And I said, it's great. And he said, oh, you still don't have that former co-host, because that was my favorite. He was so funny. He had a sardonic sense of humor.
Has he heard me?
And well, no, he's talking. I know. And he didn't even, I said, well, for starters, not only is that 3 years ago?
I know, right? Late.
But we have a second show that we're about to celebrate a 1-year anniversary. So he was really late to the game.
Yeah.
But he could not let go of that one co-host that has been gone for so long that, I mean, we've moved on so much since then. But I guess it goes to show you that people really glom on to old and tried and true, and they don't really like change when it comes to their entertainment.
I agree. I can see that.
And
I think that sometimes, and I brought this up when we were having our production meeting, that especially in girl groups and things of that nature, they make so many changes. Like Destiny's Child would not be the same without Michelle.
Oh, here we go. Right.
So, and the Supremes would not be the same if they.
I think those Beyonce fans are going to come for you. Though.
No. I'm saying without I'm glad they kept Michelle and Kelly, because I do not need to upset the Beehive.
Okay, do not accept the Beehive, please.
And Michelle was a wonderful addition to DC3. And Latavia, they can go ahead and do their own thing on the side. And I think that it's just wonderful.
I love it. All right. Well, we have got to move on, but just to DC3, Darker Link is laughing out loud. Somebody says Kim Cattrall can't stand SJP. That is so true. I'm so team SJP though, no matter what.
Are you really?
Always 100% SJP. Everybody wants to be Carrie, and I feel like I'm Carrie. That's it.
I always wanted to be Charlotte.
Oh my God, you are so Charlotte. Oh, Charlotte.
I love Charlotte.
No mention of Farrah. When Farrah, in our production meeting, that is so funny that you say that. Are you talking about Charlie's Angels in the first season?
about Farrah Franklin from Destiny
Oh,
Child.
sorry. I'm talking about Farrah Fawcett. I'm talking about Charlie's Angels when Farrah left the first season of the iconic Charlie's Angels. Yeah. Goes to show you what era I'm in.
Ashley says, who?
Girl, wake up and get some classics in ya.
Yes, girl. Get into the Charlie's Angel. It's not just a movie.
Thank you. Darker Link says, I'm Miranda. She says she's too young.
Sure,
bitch, bye. All right, we've got to move on to, we're doing Vulnerable Voices, right?
Let's go. Let's go into it.
So Vulnerable Voices this week, we thought it would be really interesting to talk about relationships, good and bad ones, how they evolve over time. This is the segment where we get a little deeper and talk just a little bit about that. And Kodi, I mean, first off, you're in a relationship right now.
I am.
And first, how have you noticed yourself evolve in this particular relationship, or are you in the middle of it?
I literally just said this was one of my favorite segments, and here I'm like dreading this part right now. So I've noticed, and I have my notes here.
Oh yes, I was like, who's he texting? Cody's a big note too. Yes,
I can't read my handwriting, so that it's on my phone. So I've noticed that I'm a jealous person, and that's played a part in my relationship recently. And I used to not think that it was a bad thing, honestly, because it showed me that person cared about me. But now I'm starting to realize how harmful it can be to your relationship. So being in a relationship has taught me so many things about how jealousy can affect you and how it can really, really be a detriment to your growth in a relationship.
And it's funny because that was one of my early lessons in one of my long-standing relationships here in New York was jealousy as well. I think it's probably a lot of people's, but you said something key. It affects you and them.
Yeah.
And it really does no one a service in the end. And you think you're being all about the person and showing it, but in the end, you're doing nobody a service, I feel, by being jealous.
Okay, I still feel a little bit is okay.
Okay.
Everything in moderation, just a little bit, because then I feel like when I get jealous, then it just ramps me up a little bit in order to kind of it gives me a little bit more fire in my loins as far as me wanting to be intimate with my partner, spend more time with my partner, things of that nature too. But I also realize that too much of a good thing is a bad thing.
Well, here's how I identify with that is you can't help ultimately how you feel. You're going to feel the way you feel.
Yeah.
So when your boyfriend does something or somebody flirts with your boyfriend, you're going to naturally have those feelings that come onto you and they're going to affect you, right?
Yeah.
It's how you deal with it. And so I think for me, where I can remember leaving my apartment, wondering where my boyfriend was, actually knowing he was at G Lounge, which is now Rebar, storming over there to catch him in the act, which I did. And I created a whole scene on 19th Street. And like, I knew you were in there, and this whole thing where now I feel I could process that jealousy, maybe tell my boyfriend a little bit more, this future boyfriend. By the way, we're going to do a new game in season 2 of where we're going to find me a partner, perhaps dating Stevie.
That's right.
There you go.
That's a good name for the show.
Okay. And so I've learned how to process that. Truth be told about that guy I've been talking about is we've moved on so much that later on we slept together and it was what it was. I saw him in Mykonos. We made out on the dance floor when my current boyfriend at the time was there, and that didn't go over so well. And that boyfriend was jealous. Yeah. And so I even had like a sex party here once, like after a club.
Okay.
He came over with some boys. I was here, and we even intermingled, and we didn't have sex together, but we were in the same room, kind of co-hosting a party together. That's evolution, y'all. That is really, evolution really with a boyfriend.
And it takes time to kind of explore where these feelings are coming from. And a lot of it is rooted in insecurity about your relationship. So just take stock of why you're feeling insecure in your relationship and just really explore yourself, like look inward.
Yeah.
Basically.
What about so on this show, we talk a lot about sexual evolution. Okay. We get a lot of people writing in how they're in relationships and asking for advice, how to either spice up their relationships, how to break it from being stagnant. Mm-hmm. Have you experienced sexual evolution in a relationship that I know this is something that I want in a new relationship?
Yeah.
But I can tell when people are in relationships, it gets stagnant.
I've not experienced stagnation in a relationship. However, I will say that I have evolved from being versatile to being a top, being a versatile top. That's the only thing that I can kind of relate
is that
to.
Though. Yeah.
Because I've explored bottoming and enjoying it, and whether or not I do enjoy it. And sometimes I feel like a nut, Steve. Sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
More often than not, I feel like the topping is more comfortable and more, it pleasures me more.
Yeah, I think whoever I date, I would hope, because it's not so easy to always bottom.
It's not.
And not
really
always to be ready. And even getting ready for this show, we're like, what are we eating? Not that we were talking about bottoming, but there is a jockstrap party that we might go celebrate after this.
Oh, we're definitely.
And I'm wearing my jockstrap.
I don't know if I'm wearing one. I might not have one, but maybe I will.
So just saying. But it is a big thing. And I think it could put a lot of pressure on if you're only had a top as one role and a total bottom in another. Obviously, there's other things you can do in the bedroom.
Oh, for sure.
There's romance. There's all kinds of things that you can do.
Fraudage. I love saying fraudage, by the way.
Fraudage. Fraudage. I like that. It sounds like a breakfast. A brunch dish.
It can be.
I'll have some fraudage today with my mimosa. But I think that having somebody that would be open, and even with role play, is something that I'm looking for my show, Dating Steve V. I want to role play in any upcoming relationship that I go on, because I think role play is something that could be spicy. Like, can you imagine texting your boyfriend and be like, okay, so tonight it's Friday night and I want you in some stockings and a maid. I'm making this up, but a maid, and pretend like you're and pretend like I walked into my hotel room and you're the maid, and you're still dusting and you're wearing these panties, and I caught you, and we get it on that way.
That's a normal Friday night for me. I don't know why. I'm like, this is not out of the ordinary, because this is something that I plan on doing frequently and all.
So role play is a part of your current relationship? Not
yet, but I do plan on incorporating it.
I love it. What are the people saying here?
So Corey is saying that all the NYC bottoms are like, damn, we lost a top at me. And Charles is saying communication is key in expressing your expectations.
Yes, we talk a lot about communication on this show, and sounds so easy, but it really is. And I think we're so scared to communicate to our loved ones, and that's crazy.
It is. If you feel like you can't express yourself to your loved ones, then again, you need to explore what about the relationship is making you feel this way.
Do you think it's about rejection, or that they're gonna wait, we didn't sign up for this to begin with, and it's fear of rejection?
Fear, exactly.
Fear in general.
Rejection is part of it. I feel like fear, that you will lose that person if you express your true self,
or this new side of you that maybe just you discovered too. And so
I think that's where it's based with me.
Well, on that line, somebody wrote, I think Silas wrote, therapy. It's never too late for therapy, right?
Yes.
Who else wrote what?
Sorry.
Uh-oh.
I know.
Your boy
just read it? He said, I'm in the stockings. Okay, that's fine. I'll be in the stockings.
Oh, I love that. So Kodi's boyfriend just wrote in and said he likes it, but he wants Kodi in the stockings. I love that. Being spontaneous is exciting as well. Absolutely. I think you just have to, being spontaneous is. I'm not very spontaneous, though. I have to admit. As you can see here, I'm a planner and everything is lights, camera, action.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine. You learn parts of yourself and what works for you in a relationship.
Yeah.
I just read the other day that don't always expect sex to be spontaneous, because again, with a bottom, if you're a top that's dating a bottom, it's important that you know that bottoming takes some preparation.
Right. So don't be spontaneous when I just had a burger.
They just had a mac and cheese. Don't think that you're getting
I just wrapped up Chipotle and you're trying to be spontaneous and I'm the bottom.
No,
not happening.
Not on today. Not on tonight.
Darker Link also says fear of rejection is so part of it because you don't want someone you care about to judge you. Yeah. I think that's the thing. And that's what I was trying to referencing earlier. And Kodi maybe shed just a little bit more light on that as a life coach.
Yeah.
Is that here we are, it's our boyfriend, our husband. We think we're in love with them. Why are we so afraid? This should be the one person that we could share everything about them. We have no problem sharing about our day, how our day went, a deal that didn't happen. But what if we're evolving sexually? Why are we so afraid to share that part of ourselves?
A lot of people, what happens is they take personal experiences that they have had in previous relationships and they apply them to the relationship that they're in now. I'm not saying that's every single relationship, of course, but a lot of times that's what I see. And what that does is it places constraints on the relationship that they're in.
And it's an old blueprint.
Exactly.
So you need to update that.
Get some new blueprints, get some new hardware and get into it.
Exactly. What is it sharing?
Sharing bodily fluids. Oh my goodness. Is
that supposed to be helping us?
I don't know where that's coming from, but okay. Thank you, Corey. Explain a little bit more. Let me know what's going on with sharing the. Oh, if y'all could see me, he's applauding us.
Okay. I love that.
By sharing bodily fluids, I hope.
Love it. All right. As my friend Sebastian says, I say love it a lot. Okay. Well, let's move on to our next hot topic. We were going to
He clarified, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
He says you can share bodily fluids with that person, but you can't share your emotions.
Oh,
which is very poignant, and I enjoy
that's
that.
Crazy. So that's, I think, the point I was trying to make. And wow, that's a very strong point. Absolutely. And we got to,
beautiful.
Sometimes it helps to just think in those terms of break it down. We can share bodily fluids. We can share the horrible day that we have, but we can't share what's on our mind with this sexual relationship or what's going on with us intimately. And that's just, bring that one up.
Yeah.
And even that out.
It takes self-exploration at the end of the day, and just really what is holding you from actually sharing with your partner.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for playing on Vulnerable Voices.
I made it through another one, boo.
We did. I know. And it's different because we're not used to being in the same room like this.
It's really actually a lot harder sharing with somebody that's actually right here.
Are we done with this one?
Are we done with this?
We can keep it going.
Bye, Instagram Live.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, there is a Reddit thread out there that I wanted to talk about because it really relates to the advice that we give on our show. And I couldn't help but think of this one. It's advice about a guy I like. This guy's looking for advice, and he's from us, and he's wondering if his friend is sex positive or a sexual addict.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, he is a 35-year-old gay male, and I have a gay friend who has always wanted me to mess around with me.
Okay.
Long story short, I held him firm in the friend zone for a long time, but after spending some time with him, I've had a change of heart. And can you read the rest? I'm just got to fix this.
He says he finds the other guy super attractive and And he proposed the idea of getting to know one another, as in maybe more than friends. The other guy shot that down and says he doesn't want a relationship. And he has told the original poster in the past he doesn't want to pursue a relationship with anyone. Yet when he first met, he was heartbroken over a guy that he was trying to get over, which could play a part in him not wanting to actually be in a relationship.
And he also says we have yet to actually mess around, but we've been sexting in recent weeks. And in the course of conversation we've had about sex, he's told me about his hookups. And he writes, I'm a little concerned. He may have a problem, but he may also just have a strong sexual appetite. He typically doesn't meet men for sex, but likes to jerk off with other guys, but very intimately, like dick on dick. Is that frottage? And likes to perform oral on men. It turns me on to hear about his hookups, but I'm starting to realize how numerous they are. For instance, he went out of town for a wedding, and I asked him if he got any action while he was there, and he said yes. He gave a blowjob to a friend and then invited one guy to his hotel to jack off, then was still horny and invited separately a second guy, and neither of which he found all that attractive, but he needed to get off. So it's stories like this that the writer writes that have him wondering, does this guy have a slight sexual addiction, or is he just a normal gay guy who happens to be more transactional about hookups more often than I do? And to be honest, he writes, I'm a little hesitant about how to get involved now, just given that he exposes himself to a lot of people, and he wants any thoughts or advice. So I guess to summarize it, he's got a friend and they've been friends for a while, and they've talked to, and he kind of has an attraction towards his friend, and they're wondering, should they hook up or not? But the one writing in thinks his friend might have a sexual addiction or not. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm thinking, yes, he does have a sexual addiction, because it's the thing that stuck out to me was he's hooking up with guys that he doesn't necessarily find attractive. And I think that's a red flag for me, because if you're hooking up with people that you don't really find attractive, then there's something else. But he says he needed to get off after he had sex twice.
When did he sleep?
I know, I read that and I tried to, girl, you tried to make me laugh on this thing. It was hilarious. Thank you so much for that comment. That's the first thing I read.
That is so funny. You think he has a problem?
I think he has a problem because like I said, the thing that is a red flag for me is that he's having so much sex, and he's having sex with people that he doesn't necessarily feel satisfied with.
Yeah, and I think they're going to mess up the friendship that they have, because I think the one that we're talking about that's hooking up left and right, hey, he's on that role right now, but the other one really likes this friend.
Yeah.
And he's going to get emotionally involved, and the other one could potentially just be like, wham bam, that was cute, and the other one's going to get his feelings hurt, and what's going to happen is they're going to ruin the friendship.
Yeah, I agree.
So I say keep it in the friendship lane. Tell your friend, you know what, and really sit him down and say, in the name of friendship, I say, let's just not do this, because I don't think I can handle it, unless our writer can really just handle a one time, and I'm talking just think of it as a one time, get the rocks off, get it out of your system to know get that D and know what it's all about, so you can get it out of your system. But I guarantee you, if you're anything like me, and it's good, and you like and you like that guy, you're gonna have feelings, and he's gonna continue the track that he's on, and he probably has a different chip missing in his mind that's not going to go there, and they're going to fuck up the whole thing.
He's explicitly stated that he does not want to be in a relationship right now. You have to respect his wishes at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think you're going to get your feelings hurt, because ultimately you're going to like him once, and probably get more attached to him once you do the deed. So I think in the name of friendship, you should just both be honest and say, we're going to fuck this up if we do.
Yeah.
If we let's just keep this separate.
Yeah.
Jack off to your friend a little bit. And
I've never done that. Have you done that before?
Thinking about my friend?
Yeah.
Have I? No, I don't think I have. But I don't know that I've been in some messed up. I have had this straight, well, quote unquote, straight friend. And we blended it for a while.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, my feelings always got hurt and involved. I've had a few of those types actually, where they were straight and I had an attraction towards them, and I'm always the one that feels like my feelings get hurt.
Yeah.
And it doesn't end well for me.
Because you develop that emotional attachment.
And those are the types that will always, because they know they have a hold over you, they'll always be in your court and keep coming back because they like you too.
That is deplorable.
It is. It's horrible. So I say don't go there from experience, because I think try the best you can. Find some new D out there. Make him jealous. Make him jealous, and have him like want to come begging for more. What are the people saying?
The people are saying that Ashley says that she is so jealous about the story, but she is wondering when he sleeps. And
she's still got up on that sleep.
She's also saying that it does sound like an addiction to her as well.
And she also needs some wine.
Corey is saying he thinks that the poster might be on the spectrum of high sex drive and sexual addiction, and that he has the same red flags, Kodi, and he wonders if he normally has sex with guys he doesn't find attractive.
You know what, though? If it's funny, because if we were to just look at that one portion of where the writer wrote in and said, when he asked him about the wedding, what did you do in the wedding? And he had, would you care if your friend told you that, but you didn't have an attraction towards your friend?
Yeah.
And your friend like if I just told you, oh my God, girl, I went to this wedding and I hooked up with this one, and then I had 3 more people, would you be concerned for me, or would you just be like, get it?
I would be cheering you on. But if it was something that I would definitely
maybe
be like,
if I was concerned about it, like, Kodi, do you think I have a problem?
Also, if it was something that you did habitually, then I would definitely be worried about you.
But what if I didn't think I had a problem with it? Would you still say, wow, Steve?
Sometimes addicts can't see their own addiction.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah.
If you really, then I guess advice for that, if you really think he has, it's just a dicey area because the writer likes his friend.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for him to give advice on the addiction part of it, if the guy really does even have an addiction.
Yeah.
Because it's blurred with his attraction towards his friend.
Yeah. So maybe he's seeing it through rose-colored glasses.
Right. And I'm just wondering if he would care so much, because I mean, I've been horny like that. Not that horny to like have
after twice.
I would not. That wouldn't be me. No. For me, one hookup in one like night, I'm all for it, and I can jack off thinking about that person the rest of the night if I'm still that horny.
And I have in previous.
Look at you. Getting up into the mic.
A long time ago. I've had encounters with more than one person in the same, but it's only been one instance. It hasn't been multiple instances of having sex with different people.
It's just a little hard for this guy to diagnose somebody when he has an attraction towards, because is his friend really going to take him seriously when he knows that he wants to sleep with him too? So
I feel like the original
call 911. Call Ashley.
Call Iyanla Benson and Oprah.
Yeah.
And actually have the person that they have a crush on go see a therapist and really kind of evaluate and dig deep.
Yeah, and somebody wrote too, Darker Link. I can't judge based on that one story too. It would have to be.
We need more context.
We need more context.
Definitely.
All right. Well, we've got one more.
Thanks
I think
for playing, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Were we going to talk about this next, or just get to thirst? Okay.
It's time.
So here is the thing that we started midway through doing Tags Live, and we call it Thursday Thirst Trap, because when this show gets repackaged, I just put it in the link there for you guys. This week, they are giving us straight up gay porn, did a really good job of putting together Thirst Trap recap. Which of these 13 gay porn stars took the best photo or video of the week? And we went through it all, and our job is to descriptively describe who our favorite one was. And do you want to go first? Do you need the mouse? Is this yours?
Can you just scroll down just a little bit more?
Yeah, because we're sharing everything.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I already found mine.
The first 3. There, that one. Go back up, please.
Yes.
So I have to first preface this by saying there are so many people on here that I follow on Twitter. So I'm already kind of familiar with a couple of them. But my vote has to go to. Can you scroll up just a little bit more? I need his name.
Is it this?
Yep, Austin Arie. And I have to give it to him because I've seen his videos before, and he can take a dick like no other. And it's just, it's awe-inspiring. He's got a ring light behind him.
Which is bad in this picture. You do not show the people.
He looks so cute, though.
I can tell you why this is so wrong.
I know.
After you told me.
I know. I just love it. I think he's adorable. He's got a cute little smile on his face. He's got a peace sign up. He's got this long hair, and he's holding it back into a little man bun, and he's just nude, and it's so cute.
No.
Why are you judging me, girl?
I mean,
this is
a judging category platform here. But okay, you picked Austin. Anything else you want to talk about it? How the backpack in the background.
He's got a backpack and some nuts, I think, back there too. I don't know what that is.
He's got a good smile. I'll give him that.
He's adorable, and I have to show you some videos when we get off.
Okay, thank you.
And then you'll understand.
I didn't have a chance, but I'm going to just go with Jamal Kingston right off the bat.
It is awe-inspiring.
I mean, Jamal is sitting in the woods somewhere on a hillside where I want to be right now.
I didn't know you like a woodsy man.
I mean, I like that piece of wood there that is just as big as the branch next to him. That's just like, all you can see is that big branch of wood. It's gargantuan, and I'm thirsting after it.
Hey,
and
that's the name of the game, right?
He's trying to hide in there with his camo hat to fade into the woods there, and
it's not hiding very much.
I'm about to get my camo outfit on and blend into that wood right now.
You trying to get speared out there in the woods?
I would like to get speared with that. Let me tell you, that's all I had. That's how I go through. That's what caught my eye, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I could not help. What are the people saying? Jamal Kingston said Teddy. Oh, you picked Jamal too. Yeah, okay. This is Zaddy all day long. Okay, Teddy and I have the same taste. You better stop.
You guys can't hang out together, basically.
I love it.
And then Corey says, "Get off." And then he says he couldn't resist. So I guess Corey agrees with you as well.
Yes.
I'll send you all links to Austin Arie's porn, so just so that you can experience what I've experienced.
Well, thank you for playing with that game. And just so you know, we repackaged this. This comes out Thursday, and we want you to weigh in on our Thursday Thirst Trap. Let us know. We'll talk about it. We want to thank you for joining us on our 1-year anniversary episode of Tags Live. Wow, this has been such an amazing year, Kodi, and I feel like we're just getting started.
I feel the same.
Yeah.
You're so talented to pour that into this.
Barely, I don't know what we have so much going on here, just a little behind the scenes here. We normally have our own spaces, and you've got your space. It's a hot mess in here.
No, it's not. I think it's beautiful. You did a fantastic job.
We love you guys.
Yes.
Thank you so much. This has been such a great, particularly because we started this in the heart of the pandemic.
Yeah.
We made something happen, and it's a testament to us and you guys for tuning in and listening. We want to really thank you. We couldn't do the show without an audience, and it means so much that you tune in every week or listen to it when it's done. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Here's to another year. Cheers, Kodi.
Cheers to you, bro.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
And in the meantime, continue having hot gay sex or any kind of sex.
Any kind of sex.
Yeah.
Get it in.
All right, guys. Thank you.